was in Copenhagen a few weeks ago with his Atletico Madrid scarf tucked under his jacket, hoping that the scouting mission would mean something. Well, the Spanish triumph, coupled with Panathinaikos shunting Lokomotiv Moscow out of the competition, means that it's all to play for tonight. And that is why Pittodrie is absolutely packed. The Thundersticks and the Hooters have been handed out by the club, and the atmosphere is simply wonderful. Several of the groups across the UEFA Cup will see a side with 4 points make their way to the last 32. The Dons, backed by a full house, are ready to make sure that they make it a memorable hat-trick of advancements for Scottish sides in Europe. So Jimmy Corderwood looking on. His side have enjoyed success in the UEFA Cup, but yesterday's victory could tonight be the night. Well, he can't remember too far back, but this could be one of the great memories. The scarf, the hat, the lot. Our referee, an experienced man, Michel Bastia, 42-year-old from Lisbon. Pittodrie, the third Scottish ground he's visited after Rugby Park and Ibrox. Well, having greeted Ukrainian, Russian and Greek opposition to Pittodrie for the first time, it's the third time Aberdeen have been drawn against a Danish club. This is their 50th match in the UEFA Cup, and Aberdeen, one of 7 sides from Scotland to have met Danish opposition. The bad news, they're the only ones never to have beaten a Danish side. Let's hope that changes tonight. Our referee gets ready to get us underway. 40 teams in the UEFA Cup group stage. Aberdeen, one of 4 teams going into the final round, having scored just a single goal. And underway tonight, Aberdeen have to get on the score sheets. Lee Miller turns, loses out in the midfield, and back it comes onto Byrne. Considine, Bronchiart tries to close him down. Jimmy Langfield sends that spiraling into the Pittodrie sky, and that's all that Considine could do. He looks back at his goalkeeper with just a little shrug of the shoulders. Jimmy Langfield on the verge of signing a new contract. Considine pushes it away in the midfield. Norgard picks up, sends it out wide. Vent sends it on. Hutchison battling for it, almost returns it to Vent. Aberdeen get there, although the path back was blocked. Nicholson plays it infield onto Severett. He loses out too. It's beautifully done, neatly played. It was always going over the top. There was little danger there in the end, but Wirtz certainly fancied his shot from distance.
Yeah, it's good play straight away from Copenhagen. Little 1-2, comes back to Wirtz, tries to bend in the top corner. Little let off for Aberdeen. They need to keep possession a little better than what they're doing at the start of this match.
So Jamie Langfield drives it away. Clark picks up, looking for it was Barry Nicholson. Michael Hart against Hutchison. Has to turn it back onto Diamond. Closed down very quickly by Marcus Olbach. One ball forward looking for Jamie Smith. Antonsen comes across, didn't deal with it particularly well. Well, he is the third choice centre half, and he's not starting particularly well. So Aberdeen brings Xander Diamond up, scored against Lokomotiv Moscow. Scott Severin, a long throw expert. As with Christensen, will guard his goal, the former Rangers player. Severin with a long throw. Diamond got the flick on. Miller was almost in there. Breaks out. Clark battling for it. First tried to go in there. Barry Nicholson. That ball was in danger of leaving the ground. It bounces off the roof of the stand and returns.
Give Aberdeen confidence. Dropping there. They don't really clear it well. They didn't when it was played in the channel to set up the long throw. They don't clear it well again. It breaks out to Nicholson. Can't keep it down. But it must give Aberdeen confidence. Play it in channels. Turn them round. Antonsen not really handling it.
Xander Diamond won the header well. Antonsen can't get there. Aluko picks up the Englishman. Antonsen got back with a good challenge. Launched high. Diamond, well, he goes after it again. Diamond and Hart. Diamond certainly was calling. Vent plays it forward. Hutchison, Vent on the overlap. Pulls the ball back. Norgard sitting. Play from Aberdeen to try and win it. Gravgaard just sends it up in the air again. Ball back was leaning in. Bronchiart is always a danger. It comes out wide onto Christ. Christ looks up, plays it across. Bronchiart Well, the first corner will go Copenhagen's way. Andy Considine having to get in there to get the block.
But you see the areas Gronkaer pulls himself into. Round about all back, breaks to him, eventually comes wide on the right. He's out there, he's just finding space all over the pitch, gets a corner for his team.
Marcus Allback, experienced international player, scored in the World Cup for Sweden against England, and eventually coming across to take it, Oscar Wendt made his international debut this year, and he looks ready to swing the ball in. Left foot ball across. It was a fairly poor header in the end. Up from the back was the captain, Michael Gravgaard. They call him the Copenhagen Air Force because he flies through the air so well.
It didn't really at that time, to be honest, but Wendt, it's a decent delivery. It's just too far out to get any purchase in the header to get it on target. But a little bit worrying he got his head on it in the first place. Got to pick up tighter, leave no chances there.
Anfield away. Miller tries to flick it on to Smith. Wendt with a long ball forward. Considine under pressure, but he was being fouled there, to be fair. Allback just moving into him and no more.
It looked as if he was taking his time too much there. You know, I thought he'd get onto that quicker. He's not been in the team recently. He must do things sharper. Get onto it and get it clear.
He can play against Atletico Madrid, which is a real disappointment, but he's back tonight. Miller flicks it on. Aluko moving through the middle. Sonny Aluko. Gravgaard watches as his partner gets back. Anderson was in there very, very quickly. Michael Hart now. The Dons. And he turns away from Hutchison. I thought they were going to try and keep the pace up. Diamond plays it through. Miller, the flag stays down. Lee Miller! Well, he was under pressure, Lee Miller, but nevertheless, he'll feel he should have hit target.
He's onside, as you see. Aluko just offside, doesn't take part in the play. Good touch. Just when he's on there, he drags it wide. It's a great chance. He did well just earlier on the move when he gets ahead, he gets people round about him, Aluko. But when the chance comes to him, edge of the box, a lovely touch from Miller, and just at the crucial moment drags it past the post.
It's a truly horrible finish. He has to shrug that off and let it go. Pull back. This moves it on. Gets it back once more. Ever present in Europe this season for FC Copenhagen. Diamond, ever present for the Dons. This knocks the ball back. Gronkaer. Nice little touch. Will go all the way back from Gravgaard, the captain. This for Christensen, who's got through 6 minutes in his last appearance at Pittodrie. He conceded after 5 minutes to Arnold Stavrum. And he would point out that his side went on to win. All back against Jamie Langfield. Langfield slips rather badly. Severin knocks it on as far as Norregaard. Norregaard gave the ball away. Picked up by Clark. Here comes Aluko. He's started the game well. Aberdeen fans below us rise. Tries to go on the outside of fist. And Aluko goes in. That's a Copenhagen throw. Well, he started brightly.
Yeah, in the last few moments I've got the crowd up, you know, the tempo's there, they've had the little chance, playing decent balls into areas which could hurt Copenhagen. It's certainly got the crowd on their side.
Ball back looking for Gronkaer, and away by a Hart. Gravgaard has to come across, just rather left it, and he does enough to shepherd the ball out of play. Well, Jimmy Collier would expected Copenhagen to be strong, to be physical, but also dangerous with Gronkaer, as I say, floating about where he wants to play.
Well, they've got good movement and they spotted it right away because Gronkaer gets himself in positions. Hutchison doesn't stay out in the left midfield and Gronkaer goes and finds a position. Hutchison tucks in to try and support Allback. The movement's good. Sionko's there also doing the same thing from the right hand side.
Allback goes up, loses out to Diamond. Smith is just under some pressure. Knocked forward by Wirtz. Over the top, Considine again looks like he's taking his time. Well, he looks slow. Gave the ball to Sionko. Here's Sionko. On to Hutchison. He's come across the right hand side. First on to Hutchinson. The Canadian can hit them from here. And Jamie Langfield happy to see that rise over, but very unhappy with Andrew Considine.
Just looks short of confidence, the young lad, but if he's short of confidence, just do the basics and do the basics quicker. He's not doing that. He's not cleared these lines. He looks up again. You're right, Paul. Gets onto it slow, eventually builds up into Hutchinson. We said his movement's good. He finds himself in the right. Good shot. can't keep it down.
Chance for Nicholson to move forward, flicks it out to Smith, the offside flag we got that time. Well, good to see him back, Jamie Smith, on his birthday. He certainly caught offside there, just to no more. The only worry about Jamie Smith is he's got a habit of breaking down, having come back from injury. He'll hope to get through the 90 minutes tonight. It's for Christensen. Only finds Xander Diamond. Severn hooks it away. Hutchinson, the header forward, Hutchinson. Out wide, Gronkiar wants it back again over the head of Michael Hart. Hart just shown enough of the ball. And all he can do is knock it into the Pittodrie stand. Events down in Gothenburg. And several Swedes in the FC Copenhagen squad. The way the players are reacting, looks like he's got a fairly long throw on him. And the back came short, was sent away. That's a decent flick on. Sionko was waiting for it. It breaks back. Liamquist, the fullback, no goals this season. Was waiting at the edge of the box, but couldn't direct it on target.
Yeah, Aberdeen not get many people at the edge of the box. You see it breaking out his wrist there. They've had a few long range shots, and let's hope they keep to that. But you know, they've not hit the target so far. But certainly the quality of the strike's been good.
Flick on by Aberdeen. Here comes Clark. Clark moving away from this. Sionko comes back. Clark goes for the byline. Sionko tracking back well. He played his last match for Rangers against Falkirk back in February. He's returned to Scotland, let's hope it's not too happy. As Aberdeen from the first corner bring up Diamond and Considine. Nicholson delivers, it's deep, flipped down and away. Looked like Richie Byrne got up there.
It's into a good area. You know, it's a good ball. Goalkeeper can't come. Clears the defender. You know, Richie Byrne got a good chance to get a good header on, but like Copenhagen, just can't hit the target. Both teams trying to settle into the match, but just can't find that finishing touch so far.
It was interesting, it was Michael Gravgaard who was on Richie Byrne there, and he didn't seem to get any height at all. And Xander Diamond is penalised. Well, yeah, if you've got your thigh on somebody's shoulder, to be fair, that's probably a free kick.
And his face. You just can't win it. Sometimes you've got to just give yourself a yard, and it just gives away a silly foul.
This plays it infield, Gravgaard. Onto Norregard. On it goes. Antonsen. Hutchinson. Battling for it. Gronkiar lays it back, but it's picked up by Severn. Severn now on to Clark. And Clark can lay it off to Considine. Richie Byrne, second European appearance of the season for the Dons. Plays it out wide onto Hart with the ever presence. Miller goes chasing, and it should clear that. Well, it doesn't strike me as subtle, but they just want to keep a clean sheet. Sally Solbakken, 39-year-old FC Copenhagen manager, played for the club for a while. As Byrne, that was rather horrible. Norregard picks up, and it's given away. Another man in light blue. One again. Norregard gets a second chance. He's closed down by Severn. Considine didn't think he was going to keep that in.
Giving the ball away a little bit too easily. You know, Richie Byrne's got a chance to help it back into that area we're talking about. Down the channels, overruns it, gets caught in the ball. Can't afford to do that at this level.
Invest, 22-year-old from Udder. With the long throw, Aberdeen have to defend. That goes across. Gravgaard was up. And the goal kick is awarded, but again, Aberdeen have got problems with the defenders coming forward.
Well, Aberdeen know how to work a long throw, but FC Copenhagen certainly do as well. Everybody a little frick there, but Sionko doesn't gamble, and it's a let off for Aberdeen again. Going round the back, you see Sionko coming into picture, just doesn't go quick enough.
Good header won by Nicholson, down onto Smith. Clark onto the near side. Considine looks up. Smith had made a great run. Back onto Considine again, onto the right side, looking to find Lee Miller. Miller is being pushed, he was looking for a penalty there, Lee Miller. He felt some pressure, immediately dropped himself down, the referee unimpressed.
He was never going to give it, but you know, it's a good ball. He is over the top of him, he's taking a chance. It would have been a bit soft, but you know, the centre halves, they can't put their hands on somebody's back in the box. Better from young Considine, 2 good passes, maybe that'll give him a bit of confidence now.
Byrne on to Clark again in the midfield. Aberdeen 1 goal in the last 5 UEFA matches. Need to score this evening. Miller will have guided away from Smith unintentionally. Hutchinson on to Vent, good closing down. Michael Hart on the far side. It's just 1 game this season, Michael Hart. High feet will be given against Copenhagen. Rasmus Wirtz. And Aberdeen through Xander Diamond. Well, he wants Michael Hart to come and take it so he can move forward. Aberdeen certainly aren't wasting time and get the likes of Diamond up as quickly as they can. Michael Hart wants him to move. Hart drives it forward. Diamond wants to get it on for Miller, or perhaps Smith. Robinson knocked it away. A poor ball by Groggiart. Severin now on the angle. And Luko, I think, had made his move to go and then sat back. Vist will have to deal with it. Luko was rounded, but he's won the ball back. Excellent play and flicked on beautifully. Here comes Luko, tried to just knock it through 2. Back at the Considine, who was involved in the move. Considine to Clark. Clark was played from behind. Vist wonders why. Well, the simple fact was he connected with Clark.
It was a free kick, you can't tackle from behind, but good play from Luko. Smith wants to dwell on it, and Luko's right in about him, nicks it off him. It's a good tempo from Aberdeen, and they look as if they've not handled any set piece so far. Aberdeen have won all the headers, just not dropped a red shot.
The goalkeeper seriously tested in the opening 16 minutes. Is this a moment for the man in black? Nicholson played it across. Grafgaard got the header away, but the referee had seen some pushing going on, and that was a shame because Christensen came for that and then moved very quickly back.
It's because it was a good delivery, a little bit of a shove. Just don't see too much in it, to be honest. It's a soft one, but certainly a great delivery from Barry Nicholson.
I honestly thought Nonegard put off his captain. Christensen away. Conker won the initial header. Sionko sees the ball go past him. Little bypass. Considine onto Luko. Severin's made a run forward to Luko. Looks up. Isn't quite sure what he wants to do. Better though that he keeps it. Considine plays it to Byrne, who's caught a touch of it. Let's just take it too easy. Byrne again. Smith onto Severin. Aberdeen keeping possession in a stretch. Diamond looking for Smith, gets in there ahead of Vent. Puts the ball down onto Nicholson. Takes it away from Vust. Played out wide again from the Dons. Good play. Here comes Lee Miller. Clark in the box. He cut it back. He had 2 men on the edge of the 6-yard box. Vent played it away. That's a little tug. Marcus Allback fouling, and Aberdeen have the free kick.
You can see what Lee Miller was trying to do. He spotted 2 players at the edge of the box, but he chose the wrong option. You know, if he plays it right across, Chris Clark's got himself in. It's a good build-up again. Again, they don't win the header. Jamie Smith knocks it back, plays it down the line to Miller. Just choose the wrong option. You see Chris Clark in there. Just fire it across. Let him go on the end of it.
Lee Miller looking for his first European goal. Knocked down by Grafgaard. Sionko did well that time. Clark runs across. So does Considine. Luko, good control the first time. Listed enough to bring the ball down. Byrne strong in the header. I thought Miller was being held there, referee didn't see it. Gets the ball onto Scott Severn, Severn away from Norregard, who just got a little touch on it, onto Vend, and then back to the goalkeeper. Christensen played it on. Ronkiar, Hutchison, well dealt with by Nicholson. Play on, says the referee. Good decision through the middle. And Christensen comes forward. The referee, well, they allowed the advantage, which I think was the correct call.
Yeah, it was, Paul. It was good refereeing. He was going to give the free kick. He just lets the play go. Little nutmeg there from Clark. He's caught late, but the ball falls to Luke. He slips it through quickly, and Jamie Smith just not got the pace to go onto it. But it was good refereeing.
Hudson was taken his man down. He has to be careful. Chris Clark again lively in the midfield. Vent back in field now. Hutchinson looking for Hutchinson, Canadian internationalist, beautifully kept in up against Michael Hart. Hutchinson first behind him, sends it out wide. Vent to move forward. Ronkiar, well, safety first. Hutchinson, who'd started that move forward, looking for Allback, breaks away from Considine. Byrne with an important touch to get away from Sionko. Now here comes Lee Miller. Well, was he impeded? No, according to the referee. Lee Miller felt it was just a little bit of a touch to take him away from the ball. I see Copenhagen, the 10th European match of the season, still a good few yards there over the head of Allback. And Byrne knocks it out of play.
Good defending from Richie Byrne a couple of moments ago. He's all back. You know he's a handful. Constantine couldn't handle all back, but Richie Byrne's tucking round, giving him depth, takes the ball away. Good defending.
Just bouncing out of play once more. So Aberdeen, well, they'd hoped for so much in this campaign. Beaten in Athens, beaten 2 in Madrid. The home draw against Lokomotiv Moscow proved to be so important, setting up tonight. Ronkiar, reversed. Johnson looking to move forward again, then outside him. Returns, Norregard waits for it. Just launches it forward, the offside flag comes up. Marcus Allback, 4 goals in European competition this term. A little bit slow to come back.
Yeah, as soon as he joins back in offside, really have to watch Hutchison. He is all over the pitch, he's quick, got a lovely touch on him as well. Takes a good touch out on the left hand side and then finds himself in the right. Aberdeen players must communicate, just pass on, don't get dragged all over the place. Just talk to one another and let them know where and what area Hutchison's going into.
Great solid challenge by Chris Clark. 6th European appearance of the season. Well, Copenhagen are taking some liberties with the position of these throw-ins, much the annoyance of the Red Army below. Considine. Well, there was an elbow there from Ronkiar moving over the top of him. It's going to be an Aberdeen throw. Well, he was an enigma at Chelsea. Wonderful at times, frustrating at the other. Looks like he moved his arm across Considine there. Wrist. Knocked across. Diamond should play it down. And for Barry Nicholson. Hearts moved ahead of him. And back in front of him. Miller and Diamond just launches it forward. Miller ahead of Gravgaard. Hutchinson will bring it down. Hutchinson again just holding off Michael Hart. Hart trying to reach round him. That has to be a free kick. I didn't mean the other way. Yeah. On to Hutchinson. So it goes, it's neat play. Sionko had come in, but he's well dispossessed. Severn forward, onto Miller. Gravgaard comes ahead, and the yellow card will come out for the captain, Michael Gravgaard. Well, he's not happy at that decision, and neither, to be fair to him, is Atiba Hutchinson. But it did look like he stepped across the man.
Well, it does well, but you just feel as if they should have been awarded a free kick too. You know, it was a poor tackle. It's brought down, the ball goes up to Miller, rides the tackle well, but you can't come up from the back and No guard does that and takes him right out of play, and I deserve booking when you see it again.
Well, the referee's been trying to let things flow. If he's a familiar figure, he took charge of Red Star Belgrade against Rangers this season and finished 0-0, with Rangers to advance in Europe. Hart looking for Diamond. Lee Miller on the snapshot, breaks down, there's nobody there for the Dons. There was 5 in blue, none in red. Out to Scott Severin. Well, he's scored from 12 yards this season 3 times. From distance, sadly, he's not been so effective.
Well, I've seen him score goals from there before. The expectation levels were there when the ball drops out. It's not a good clearance, takes a good touch, wrong foot, just doesn't commit to the shot. It's a poor effort in the finish, but you know, he is capable, and it's just, that's why it's so disappointing. Aberdeen are winning every ball in the air, any free kick, any ball into an area, they're winning every header, knocking them down, just not finding an Aberdeen shot running onto it.
Problems at the moment, well dealt with by Andy Considine. He wants the free kick. Well, Lee Miller's had an opportunity in this match, Scott Severin as well. But again, now the goalkeeper forced into any stunning saves so far. But what a night, such tension. Aberdeen have to win to go through. Copenhagen can take the draw and advance. And it's the second seeds, Lokomotiv Moscow, and currently occupy 4th position in the group. They are finished and they have failed to qualify, which is a great disappointment for them. Burn wins the header well. Comes back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson striding across, Norgard just inside him. Hutchinson sends it out wide. Sionko watches it, he wants it deep, Vent waiting for it. Wins it eventually. Back into Hutchinson once more. He's turned away from Diamond. Got some support from Nicholson. Turned it back out. Did Hutchinson looking for Vent? Well won by Michael Hart. Well, there's problems for Aberdeen there. They were struggling on the left, but there was also players available on the right for Copenhagen.
It's just a movement again. Sionka's come back over this side. Hutchinson doing the damage over the left, and you know he gets on the ball, but Aberdeen defend that because there are 3 or 4 players round about. He is dangerous. He looks quick. He looks intelligent, but they've got to get him en masse and make sure they're all round about him, not leave him any space whatsoever.
Sionko flicks it forward. Michael Hart. The ball down on as far as Hutchinson tries to return it once more. Ronkiart, they decided to leave it alone, and out of play it goes. So FC Copenhagen have come here, they're very, very confident. They've come with a certain swagger. Sal Solbakken, he's been linked with the Danish international job. Morten Olsen failed to qualify for the European Championships. He wants to continue to guide Copenhagen to success. Suspicion of high feet plays on, says the referee. Considine onto Luko. Luko, Clark's made a good little run, and Luko continues to go across. Away from Wurst. Solbakken at the side for Copenhagen has gone berserk as the ball gets launched over the top. Smith takes it down, turns and controls. He's going to go himself. He was caught there. The referee allows play to continue. Breaks to Severin. Cute little ball out looking for Clark. He's defended by Wurst. And all back. Is it infield? Not a guard with a ball forward. That's a delightful ball. Ronkiar waits. Sionka's come forward as well. Ronkiar up against Sander Diamonds. Easily taken by the goalkeeper in the end. Now he's trying to move things forward as well. He spotted the man out wide. It was Smith. Beluko trying to go back. Burst on to Sionko. Special boost for Sionko. That was well read by Bunt. Well, Ronkiar showed how useful he was. Found good space.
Yeah, we're looking at all back as a striker, but what a lovely ball. Gets the ball out to Ronkiar. Sander Diamond does well, forces him wide, forces him to have a shot. It's a good strike, and well held by Jamie Langfield.
Copenhagen have scored in all their away ties in Europe this season. They get ready once more. Wrist with the throw. That guard was defended that time. Wrist moves it forward. Rust look for it. And out of play it goes again. Aberdeen having to be very, very lively in the defending. Andy Considine there again. throw. Considine missed it, Hutchinson got the header on it. And Jamie Langfield very calm, but he won't be happy the fact the ball got all the way through.
Yeah, it's Vis with the long throw again. That's twice now. Everybody misses it, gets through. Hutchinson reacts, can't get enough power on it to beat Langfield.
Diamond. Right there once more. It's terrible by Vis, but actually made its way up to Sionko. The last 8 seasons, Copenhagen have finished first and second in the Superliga in Denmark. Sionko seen as an ideal player to add to the title challenge. And the referee sending Vis back. And then he comes forward again. Well, the referee should give a throw to Aberdeen.
You shouldn't even tell him to go back, you should just let him take it and then give the throw to Aberdeen.
Yes, from Christensen. Looking for Gronkia. Gronkia wins the header onto Sionko. Considine Gronkia in a little battle. Sionko crossed it over. And Xander Diamond comes back, but he concedes the corner.
He's winning that battle, Gronkia, with Considine. Gets it on again, comes to Sionko and he whips in a lovely ball, but that's what all good defenders do, is diamond across to the front post, getting a head on it and away for a corner.
So Gronkia being picked up. There's a real huddle round the line. The referee's going in and having a little look. And just issuing 1 or 2 warnings. Considine and Gronkia having a little niggle. Bent has come wide to take the corner. The Norns wants to go against Lokomotiv Moscow from this position. Langfield though came out, dealt with it, wanted to move it quickly. He's trying to set a real high tempo for Aberdeen.
Yeah, he is, and he takes it, but he doesn't want to give the ball away too easily.
And Luko's away from his man, it won't count. The flag's up on the far side for the push. And I think it was the right call.
Yeah, it was the right call, but again, Copenhagen, for as physical as what they are, you would think they would win, you know, the fair percentage of high balls, but they're not handling it. You know, Jamie Smith's held it up, Lee Miller's been heading things on, they're winning all their headers, they're not defending it right. Again, they missed the ball there, Lucas through, it was a push, but they definitely are not defending properly.
Well, Diamond appeared to be too early that time, and he's taken the man. And the referee is wanting a word. Ball back, just gets a little pat on the back of the head. And the Copenhagen top goal scorer. Looks like he's okay. And he seemed to come in, just won the head flick, Diamond second, and just cracked the back of the head. So again, Aberdeen have a set play to defend. Copenhagen across, Hutchinson with a touch. Hutchinson trying to play it down, but can't get there. Norgard waits for it. Yeah, 2 in attendance. Slides it down. Thurston stayed forward. Battling for it was Considine. Don't have a problem with that decision. This comes forward again. Looking for the long throw. Considine can at least smile, but he has to defend. Takes all the running room that he can get. Harold in. Aberdeen managed to get the block on it with Lee Miller. Well, Aberdeen certainly coming back in numbers to defend. It was well won by Nicholson. Smith, that comes back to him. What a mistake, Norgard. Smith steps up, it takes a little deflection. Christensen comes across. Well, Jimmy Smith, he's been training for a couple of weeks, not perhaps quite match fit, but he closed down well.
Yeah, it wasn't good defending again, and Nicholson winning the header that time. They really are not winning their headers. It eventually, poor defending, kicks it to Jamie Smith, tries a shot, deflects, can't get on target.
Sionko did well to win it, and Aberdeen had players back, and Richie Byrne has been the pick of the back four so far.
Yeah, he is strong. They don't win the header, but he's tucked round, he's helping out there. That's what you have to do, bail your defender out, your fellow defender when he makes a mistake. Hart sends it out wide onto Nicholson. Nicholson looks for Smith.
Smith, oh, just too many blue shots around him. Severn won the header, set for Hart, but Chelsea event will just allow that to go out of play. Well, again, chances have been at a premium throughout the opening 33 minutes. But a fascinating contest. Aberdeen have to win. Copenhagen will take the draw. Last 32 of the UEFA Cup awaits. Burn, the distribution onto Nicholson, back to Hart. Miller and Smith. Atkinson goes in, so all they can do is flick it out of play. What Aberdeen need is a little sustained period of pressure in the Copenhagen half.
Yeah, I would certainly say the way the game's gone so far is get up to your front two and play from there. They certainly have, and Townsend handles that one quite well, but again they're a flat line, again it's in a channel, again it's causing problems. They really have to get up to the front two. You like to play football, but can get it up to the front two quickly and get midfield support.
Severn with a throw, Diamond and Hutchinson. Comes back out to Severn, driven across. Well, that's one of those crosses, if it just takes a nick, can go anywhere.
It's a great ball, it's great technique to keep it to drive it across like that, but it's just too high for any on-rushing Aberdeen play. A little bit lower there's a chance, but at that height and that speed, no chance for the strikers.
Jimmy Calderwood looks on. The side are giving him the effort and the endeavour. It's the end result that's missing. Clark almost onto Gronkiart. Smith onto Luco, neatly away. Luco continues, just knocks that out of play. So Luco complains. On loan from Birmingham City. So there's Alex McLeish as his boss. Fine Gronkiart, dealt with by Considine. Norregard can't hold on to it, it comes through the middle. Gravgaard drops it down, Norregard picks up again. Norregard, who's a sub against Panathinaikos, started the other 8 matches. Onto Hutchinson, who's been important. And they showed it, neatly done onto Allback. Through the middle it goes, Sionko almost in. Considine sends it back, that's it back, we're all back. Here's Gronkiart, side nets. Sionko had come forward, so too Norregard, and Aberdeen are grateful.
Well, Sionko and Norregard not happy. You know, he's in a great position, strikes it. The one thing you do, you test the goalkeeper. If he palms it out, they tap it in, but to hit the side net and not hit the target, you know, that's just crucial at that stage. He really has to hit the target and test Langfield.
Aberdeen have played 4 times against Danish opposition. They are yet to score. Miller forward onto Smith. Smith goes in, he's managed to get the ball across to Luco. He should step in ahead. Not this that time. Sionko comes across to help out. And Luco onto Severn. Severn on the angle. Smith looking for it, tried to help it on. Oh, Aberdeen starting to stretch Copenhagen. Oscar Bent, the fullback. Scott Severn taking care. Long throw, Gronkiart wins it. Straight back to Severn. Hutchinson closed them down, so he knocks it on to Nicholson. Ball out wide again. Severn, let's take a little deflection. Well, Hutchinson knew that his goalkeeper was coming. Well, we've not seen a lot of Jesper Christensen. You played alongside him, you know he's a decent goalie.
Yeah, he is, but you know, you've got to test him. Aberdeen haven't so far. He is a good goalkeeper, good shot stopper. But you know, I'd like to see him tested. Aberdeen's joy. I wonder what the boys think back in Stadium, Mark and Craig, because every time they turn it forward into channels, there you go, they get joy.
Jamie Smith is looking to spread a little joy and happiness, but all he's done is concede the ball to Hutchinson. Hutchinson moving away from Nicholson. Well, he takes one for the team now. That was daft almost. He could have just tried to shepherd him away. He's not been booked in this campaign so far, so there's no real danger for Barry Nicholson. He has to be careful now.
Yeah, no complaints. Taken out of the play. He probably knows it was a good chance for Copenhagen to attack. Hutchinson as well, with his pace, just takes him out.
From Ontario in Canada, his parents from Trinidad. Free kick from Oscar Wendt went rather a long way. Well, there's the three wise men, and they're looking for a star. Miller loses out. Atkinson forward onto Allback. That's in the midfield. Well, that was a bit silly. The referee goes straight to his top pocket. Rasmus Verst. Well, he was signed for over €1 million on a 5-year deal. He's a valuable player in the midfield. It has looked a little clumsy.
Yeah, I think that's his second one, and he takes 7 minutes. No complaints whatsoever. Straight in the book.
International player, they are littered right through the FC Copenhagen side. Certainly a man who's seen Scotland duty in his time too. The Irishman Byrne forward, looking for Diamond. Miller attacks it. Wendt away. Gonkiar. Hartwell just waited his time. Byrne again forward. Nicholson to Michael Hart. The Dons working away down the right. Smith will chase it down. Well, that's why, because Barry Nicholson was right behind him. Good play from Nicholson, and the free kick goes Aberdeen's way. Good play.
There you go, channel ball again. Not even favourite to get there. Put them under pressure. End up drawing the foul. It's the way forward for Aberdeen. Everybody likes to play football, but there's sometimes just turn it. They're playing a flat line. It's causing them problems. Test them.
Aberdeen again, get players forwards. FC Copenhagen, everybody back inside the box. If you include the D, the Sionko is. Delivery, Christensen. Always a letdown when the goalkeeper comes out and gathers, who starts the attack quickly. This the cross. Liston forwards. This again. Well, even the good players can make mistakes.
Going back to the corner, I know Aluko, it's inside the 6-yard box. He wants to deliver it somewhere between 6 yards and the penalty spot. But if he does deliver it in there, I'd like to see somebody on the goalkeeper. Nobody, usually your manager will tell a striker especially, go and stand on the goalkeeper, don't let him come. Nobody on the goalie there, just comes and takes it easily.
Ball back onto Sionko. Considine with a challenge. He's grown into the game. And with Considine, still only 20. Over 60 appearances for the Dons. This is all the way back. Byrne was always going to win that. Clark gets it on. Easily dealt with. As Verst knocks the ball back in.
You're right, Paul. Considine settled into the game now. You know, shaky start, not been in the team, low in confidence. Eventually played his way into it. He's looking solid just now in this part of the match.
Well, Aberdeen have had problems at the back in recent times. They lost 15 goals in the last 7 games. Compare that to losing 20 in the first 17 games of the season. They have been letting them go. Well, Miller and Smith are far too close to each other that time. Christensen away. Gonkiar tries to play that on for Sionko. Sionko against Byrne. Byrne moved across well. Sionko. With the Gonkiar. West. Just inside him. Gonkiar. Aluko read it. They look forward onto Miller. That's better from Aberdeen. Aluko, that was not on, and I thought you'd seen that it wasn't on. Hutchinson was in there. Lee Miller. And the challenge from behind. Hutchinson down. Aluko just has that. He plays the wrong pass at times.
He showed Hutchinson where he was going to play. If he just dropped the shoulder and gone on, you know, he was away from him and probably sprinting on to their back four, but he's a young, inexperienced boy. He goes for the easy pass, gets cut out.
Aberdeen have to take care. They've lost a couple of goals in the dying moments of the opening half. Locomotive Moscow, Atletico Madrid spiralled in. Good punch away. Smith knocks it down. Knocked away by Miller. This mighty thump. And that's going to be offside. Well, Marcus Allback, who came off the bench more often than not from Aston Villa when he did appear, was showing a touch of laziness again.
It's 2 or 3 times, and long may it continue. You know, jogging out as a shaky. You've got to push yourself to get out, just in case the ball does get played back like that quickly. But it looks like he's just jogging.
Flick on, Clark going through. Vist knocks it up. Second ball up for grabs. There wasn't much wrong with that. Severin wins the header. Vist is uncertain. He's closed down by 2 Aberdeen players. But Aberdeen feel it's their turn to try and get a goal before half-time.
Miller's header again. I'd love to see maybe another 2 or 3 players commit themselves to runs, because they are winning everything. They're dropping deep. Let's get runners and try and get round about Lee Miller.
Diamond forward. Severin with a throw. It's knocked down. Another guard away. Byrne taking a chance with Allback. Stroking one out wide neatly. Nicholson. Hutchinson, did he throw an arm up? No, according to the referee. And Sionko picks up. There will be 1 minute of additional time to be played. Sionko turns. Smith was back. And he just knocked him down from behind. And Jamie Smith followed up with a little verbal volley.
I think he'd run out of steam. Sionko had 3 or 4 twists and twirls, and I don't think he knew where he was going there, and eventually just gets a little clip, and I thought, come to the end of his tether, I'll just go down now and take the free kick.
Hart defends it well. Nicholson back there. On to Diamond. And Diamond thumps it off the roof at the far side. Well, it is absolutely crucial now that Aberdeen give nothing away. Made up their mind which one they're going to use. Left full back. That's the event. 22-year-old. Throws it in. Northgard came looking for it. Back again to Vent. Offside flag up once more. And last few seconds to be played out here. Overall, Aberdeen, are they happy?
They'll be quite happy, but I think they can do more. As I said, I think they can get up to the front end quicker, try and get runners to support. I know it's not on all the time, but when it is on, just turn on the channels and getting joy out of it. They need to test the Cater more. They have to win this match. A little bit more urgency, a little bit more of a gamble. Go and get some runners to support the strikers. I think they'll do well in this match.
Well, the half-time whistle goes from Lucia Bastia. And there's not been a breakthrough, and that will disappoint Jimmy Calderwood. He's got some team talk to deliver. Lee Miller had possibly the best opportunity of the whole half. He was onside, and he managed to get in behind the Copenhagen defence. Brought it down beautifully, but the right foot shot rather let him down, which was very disappointing. Kroenke has proved to be very lively again, the former Chelsea man. And he managed to be shown the outside. It was good play from Xander Diamond, showed him the outside. Considine came back, but this was another great chance. Kroenke just lashing it into the side net. That's really been the tale of the half. Half-time at Pittodrie. Aberdeen still in it. Aberdeen 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Well, it's 24 years today since Aberdeen lined up at Pittodrie against Hamburg in the second leg of the European Super Cup. A goalless first leg in Germany. It was then a super night at Pittodrie. Messrs Simpson and McGee supplying the goals in the 2-0 win. Well, can Jamie Smith supply a goal here on the 22nd of December 2007? He's up front alongside Lee Miller. He's looked lively and sharp at times despite coming back. Been out for the last 3. But Jamie Smith and Sonny Aluko, there's much wrestling on their shoulders. He's played well in the first half, just at times the wrong pass selected. If you could cut that out, well, he is a very young man. It might change things. FC Copenhagen returning to Pittodrie in a new guise. One half of the partnership that created FC Copenhagen back in 1992, where B1903 of Copenhagen enjoyed success here with a 1-0 win in 1990. in their third and final trip to Scotland. The other half of the partnership, KB, they made a single trip to Scotland and lost 1-0 at Tanner Ice back in 1977. But here is the new FC Copenhagen. They've been a strong club in Denmark. They want to be a strong club in Europe. And the long ball just gets played forward. So Jamie Langfield is ready. Knock the ball down, the only clean sheets. The whole match against Dnipro in the opening match. Aberdeen failed to score in Madrid. They've not been shut out in back-to-back European games this season. Luko goes over his shoulder. Down on to Miller. Miller getting away from Vest. Worked hard. It's away too from Vest. Severin rather poorly forward. Jamie Smith might make something of it. Hutchison used those long legs to good advantage, and Jamie Smith has taken a knock. No changes at half-time. Grabgar forward. Hutchinson moved out from that left-hand side. Diamond won the header. Luko tries to keep it in, couldn't do so. And the ball out of play on the far side. Jamie Smith from Aberdeen. I hope he's okay. Looks like he's walking normally again.
Yeah, it was just a kick. Hutchinson caught him. He nicked the ball away from him. Hutchinson threw in a leg and it caught him, but just a little knock.
Yeah, a clever little back heel. Unfortunately, his teammates could pick up on it. It has looked lively at times. Jamie Langfield away. That could come through to Smith. It does so. He's going for goal. That's an excellent effort! That is a brilliant goal! Jamie Smith celebrates, and why not? An absolute Christmas cracker.
That is simply sublime. And this time he gets round about Miller. Doesn't even win the flick on. Causes the problems again. He takes a touch on it and delivers the most exquisite of finishes. Explodes it right into the top corner of the volley. There you go, little touch. What a connection. Great goal for Aberdeen.
Well, Jamie Smith, we said he would be important. The right foot looking for the dipping volley, and he guided it in all the way. Antonsen stood off him. That was a mistake. And Aberdeen have what they crave for their Christmas. The lead against Copenhagen.
The play we've been saying all along, Paul. It's just a simple ball through the middle. Miller challenging this time. Smith gets round about him, takes a lovely touch. It sets up perfectly for him, but to still deliver that finish from the full 30 yards. No chance for Christensen. Unbelievable goal for Aberdeen.
He scored once in Europe for Celtic. His first goal in the right of Aberdeen at this level could be oh so crucial. Pittodrie is alive. Severin knocks the ball on to Smith. Well, Grafgaard back to Christensen. Well, now would be a good time to keep the pressure on and see just how much Aberdeen can upset Copenhagen. It's the first goal that Aberdeen have scored against a side from Denmark. It's the fifth match that they've played. And Jimmy Smith, the man on the ball, has done what none of Don's player could do and find the net. Aluko was away there, but the free kick was awarded. Sionko upending Smith. Well, it's amazing. The first half wasn't the best in footballing terms, and then all of a sudden the match just lit up. That moment of absolute magic from Jamie Smith. The Dons forward again. Xander Diamond brought it down. Still Xander Diamond. Took a deflection. That's a corner. Well, the assistant initially said yes and then changed his mind.
It's got to be a corner. Again, they just can't defend this team for all the physical side. They miss it. It's come down. Sit up again. Good strike. Hits off his back. Can't believe the referee's not spotted that. He's just obviously the wrong side.
So Aberdeen with the lead. Michael Hart touches the ball back onto Diamond. Aberdeen's first goal in the second half of a European competition this season. Miller through. Smith almost getting the better of Grafgaard again. Grafgaard just being fouled there by Jamie Smith. Sionko against Considine, both pushing into each other. Considine, cool and calm and controlled. And Luko was alert. Sent it for Smith. Well, this might stun Copenhagen. They were very, very confident coming into this match. Could not see themselves losing. Got offside there. But if you've got that mindset sometimes, Bill, you don't think you're going to lose and suddenly you're a goal down.
Yeah, now they have to change their game plan. We could watch this all night. We all identified that the boys in the shoot at half-time were still talking about it in the first half. And it just, Miller flick on, simple touch, sets it up. But what a finish. I mean, you don't get any better than that.
Jimmy Langfield at the other end can repel Copenhagen. Aberdeen are through. Long way to go. Hutchinson moving forward up against Diamond. Diamond ahead there of Gunkiar, who settled for the throw, didn't even bother trying to challenge under Diamond. Hutchinson. All back. Can't get on the end of it. Luko. Luko gives the ball away to Sionko. Copenhagen need no help. Sionko away from Luko again, runs into Considine. And the challenge from Luko, it's a foul. Well, Sionko didn't really show what he was made of when he was at Rangers. His 23 appearances, 3 goals. But he's one of the players Copenhagen will look to now.
I think he gets a bit of the ball there, but takes a man also. Comes from him, he gives the ball away. You don't want to be doing that, especially in these areas, and you get a chance to deliver now, especially after scoring that first goal.
So Vance has gone across to take. Still consecutive European start. Aberdeen with everybody back. It's for first. Chip back in, Aberdeen have to win that. They did so. It was rather awkward too by Jamie Smith. Ronkiar will accept the throw. Bit of desperation on the defending. Jamie Smith's goal. Sort of a smile to the face of almost everybody at Pittodrie. This with a long throw. Gravgaard looking for it. The Air Force grounded once more. Aluko battling away. Atkinson sent it forward. Diamond was looking for offside. Ball didn't go through. The decision didn't come. Hutchinson all the way on to Jamie Langfield. Well, Copenhagen do have a problem scoring. 9 games played in Europe. They've scored just 7 goals. They have to score in 3 of 9. And Smith is caught offside. Well, the encore wasn't as sensational as the original performance.
You're going to look at Aberdeen now and see what their thought process is in this match, because the longer it goes like this 1-0, you can certainly see the likes of maybe a Luko coming off and Foster coming on that side just to protect, maybe a striker coming off and Tuzani going in and sitting in there. But let's hope they get another goal. But if it stays like this maybe for the next 20-25 minutes, Jimmy will certainly be thinking, let's shut up shop here, let's take this victory, get some more defensive minded players on.
12 European matches have passed since Aberdeen netted twice in the same match. That's poor defending. Gravgaard's going to give that away onto Barney Nicholson. Nicholson with a touch, has to go to the side, feeds it out wide, and Luko's got pace. Has to scramble across. And the Hooters and the Thundersticks continue to bellow out.
They've been horrendous defending tonight. Gravgaard took that time, just not clearing it, not dealing with it, a bouncing ball. Bounces up there, Aberdeen nick it. Nicholson does well, pokes it wide, but the horrendum from FC Copenhagen has been nothing short of terrible.
Hutchinson sends it high. Aberdeen looking for it. Considine won the header well. Smith tried to go into reverse. All back. Sends it. Conkiart. He's just back after injury. He was a month out. Langfield gives the ball away. Smith will try and return it. Play from Miller, flicks it on. Jamie Smith's going through. Jamie Smith, that sets up. He goes in again. Jamie Smith, the first player since Billy Dodds to score 2 in a European tie for Aberdeen, and they are en route and on their way to the last 32 of the UEFA Cup. Aberdeen looked for a hero. They found one. Jamie Smith.
Those front two are just destroying them, just by simple movement. One ball through the middle, flicked on. Just hooked back in by Miller. Jamie Smith's onto it in a flash. 20 yards, left foot. Great strike, bottom corner, no chance for Christensen again. What a display from Aberdeen second half.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas for Aberdeen. And this is why Jamie Smith all the way into the corner. Aberdeen 2, FC Copenhagen 0. And Jamie Langfield, well, he's done his part in Europe, and so he can join in the celebrations as well.
So he should, Paul. You know, it's been a fantastic display. Jimmy Calderwood's obviously identified where their weaknesses are, and all this half, they're just shelling balls through the middle and they can't handle it.
Gravgaard back to Christensen. 55 minutes gone. Aberdeen leading by 2-0. This is their match to lose now. Several on to Clark. Good play. Aberdeen flowing. Aluko. Aluko loses out to Sionko. Just trying to be too clever. His time may be up. Hutchinson brilliantly away. Diamond has to watch. And here comes Vent, the fullback. Doesn't quite have the pace. Pushes the ball in field. It's on to Sionko. Hutchinson. Hutchinson wants to play the ball in. Headed away by Xander Diamond. Verts onto Hutchinson. €1 goal this term. And Verts. And the ball was always going to be won there by Byrne. Miller went up. And he won the ball well. And just thumped on by Scott Severn.
I think you might see in the next 5-10 minutes Sonny Aluko coming off and getting Foster on. 2-0 up, you know, you don't want to let them back in the game.
Well, they're going to get a chance to come through here. All back moves in. Good challenge again. I think he's played exceptionally well tonight, Richie Bunn.
Yeah, he has. You know, it's locked into channel. It's exactly what's happened to Copenhagen. But Aberdeen defenders read the situation. Burns across. Good blocking tackle. As I was touching on, Aluko, inexperienced at this level. 2-0 up. They don't need his attacking prowess, giving the ball away. They can't afford that now, Aberdeen.
He's trying to close down there. Changes will be made by both managers. Christensen away. Aberdeen 2-0 up. Jamie Smith will a double. Clark forward looking for Miller. Odegaard battling for it. Just back inside. Gravgaard sends it away. Aberdeen last in Europe after Christmas back in 1986. 21 years, a long time. And on comes the man, number 7, Ilton, the Brazilian. Well, they shelled out absolutely millions of euros for him. He hasn't repaid them. Rasmus Verts is the man who has withdrawn. So the midfielder comes off, and Ilton is asked to repay some of that transfer fee. Came from Swedish football. And Ricky Foster will come on in a moment. Lee Miller holds up Nicholson inside him. Miller going off Odegaard. A little flick on by Severn. Nicholson just went too early. Sonny Aluko, 18 years old, his second European start. He'll get warm applause. And as they say around these parts, who's that coming over the hill? It's Ricky Foster. And on comes Mr. Foster. Came on as a sub against Nipro at home, and he's been asked to come on again and just help shore things up. Severn. A long ball looking for Smith again. Smith down. It's a different tempo to the game now for Aberdeen. They can take the time. Clark played in by Smith. After he got the touch away, here comes Severn. Severn trying to play it through. Well, what's the goalkeeper doing there? Well, of course, Clark has a little look. Well, he's just trying to take on the man there. The free kick rewarded. Chris Clark, if he'd shown just a bit more patience there.
Yeah, but it's good closing down. Big Jesper's got that crazy bit in him, and just simply just saying like how they've defended all that, how their goalkeeper's joining in.
Smith again. Good on the overlap. Foster drags it, and Miller trying to get there. Ravgar has to send it away. And Aberdeen in the first corner of the second half.
Jamie Smith's been outstanding, not just for his goals, you know, just his work rate, his touch, but his vision there to slide that pass inside the fullback. It's a good cross. Miller trying to get to the front post. That time Copenhagen do defend it.
Another change is going to be made. Norgard is being withdrawn. So, sitting midfield player withdrawn. Another man introduced. Silverbar, also midfield player. Midfield booms it long. Miller beaten. Severn, here's Foster. Foster, Silverbar. Kicks up. On to Nicholson. Nicholson with a touchdown to Clark. Now on to Severn. And Foster's footing wasn't quite flawless. Copenhagen trying to get back in the match. No way through that time for Elton. Well, plenty of football coming up Saturday afternoon, 4:30, BBC One Scotland Sports and Results programme, and again on Boxing Day at 5 to 5 on BBC One Scotland. Full coverage of all the matches too on Radio Scotland Sports Sound. Langfield. Aberdeen under half an hour away from the last 32 of the UEFA Cup. Clark goes in and wins the ball. Calder were absolutely furious, as you can see. FC Copenhagen have scored more than one goal only once in 9 European games this term. There was 2 at home against Lyon. Michael Hart beautifully brought down. There's a nice calmness about Aberdeen.
Yeah, that's when they need the experience of Michael Hart, just to calm things down, take their time, take as long as they want with set pieces, throw-ins, just to see out this match. They've gone at a 4-4-2 now, and with a lot of, you know, offensive thinking players even in their midfield. Hutchins in the middle of midfield, Sionko out on the right, Gronke on the left, still all back up front. There's so many forward thinking players in their team now, but they have to go for it.
And there's always the danger they can be picked off again. They've lost 2 matches domestically, both by 1-0. They're the best defence in Danish football. Been cut open twice by Jamie Smith. Hutchinson onto Vent. From there, Hutchinson comes for it. Nicholson couldn't win it. Silverbar, 26-year-old former Aalborg player. The Vest. Grontier, they need more from him. He's disappeared at the start of the second half. Hutchinson hasn't. He's always been there, getting past his man. Lets one fly, picks off Michael Hart. Silverbar, he could not be out. Copenhagen having to make the running now. Look at a free kick there. A little bit clumsy by Foster. Let's see Uncle.
Jamie Smith dropping deeper and deeper, now going sort of 4-5-1. He'll still try and get forward to support, but you know, Aberdeen just really trying to keep it tight, not give anything away. The next goal's crucial, or just see it out.
They don't want to give any advantage. Back to Copenhagen. Ball across, good strong header away by Hart. Smith pushes it clear. Christensen has raced from his goal. 29-year-old international goalkeeper. It across, Considine won it, and Severn says, I'm going after that. Severn, Clark's ahead of him. It's just going to be too far for Clark, I think. Anderson, well, he's misjudged it. Here comes Clark, Smith's infield, so's Nicholson, the ball delivered across and took a little deflection away. Well, the terrible defending continues by the Danes. They've dithered at the back. Now Michael Hart Hart, easily past Silverberg, flicks it on, Smith is onside! Oh, it's the hat-trick! He nearly joined the names of Frank Monroe and Mark McGee, Aberdeen players who've scored a hat-trick in European competition. It was a gilt-edged chance.
And it was his easiest chance, and Hart does brilliantly. They can't defend, just even out the far side to set up, but it's a lovely ball through from Hart. He's on it a flash, Smith. You think with getting the 2 goals, 2 great strike, I think the confidence will be there. He does, he takes it early, good side foot, just misses the target.
As a port, 1 stroke, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm not complaining, but just pointing it out, it was the easiest chance.
Absolutely, and a hat-trick beckon, you don't get too many hat-trick chances at this level.
And that would have been game over, Paul, you know, that's what we're talking about. Either see it out and get the next crucial goal.
Well, let's swing, Copenhagen. Long ball in again, good defending. Now it's on to Smith, just trying to lay it off. Enough for Severn. Back out wide it went. Just in once more, Miller back with a header. Johnson, Barnes turned to slip that time. Sionko looks stranded, and the ball ran past them. Aberdeen have lost both home matches against Danish opposition. This could be the time it turns their way. Silverberg closed down by Severn. This is out wide. Sends the ball forward, but again dealt with by Richie Burke. Well, he's been very calm at the back. Played a lot this season, but this is his 10th European appearance. He's shown that experience. Forward for Smith, trying to flick it on. Morton Nordstrand, I think, will come on for Copenhagen. He's a centre forward, and they're really going to go offensive. It's been their defending, it's been offensive so far. Yeah, it's a little slow now. Simply trying to go up there with the arm. He's not been effective. Can he make a contribution? Then knocks it in. Takes the deflection off Barry Nicholson. Copenhagen get their first corner of the second half.
Yeah, they're always going to try. They know the next goal could be so important. Not giving up hope yet. Good move down the left. Good defending again by Aberdeen. Stopping the cross. Don't let it come in. If you don't let the cross come in, you don't score goals.
Langfield trying to organise in front of him, but all the pushing going on. And I think the referee's saying he wasn't ready because he was having a word with the substitutes behind the goal and asking them to move along. So Lewis Sionko will get a second chance to deliver. Sionko delivers. Good play, Jamie Langfield. Knocked it clear. Final quarter of the match. Vent again for Ayrton, Hutchison in behind them. There was one by Considine and knocked away by Jamie Smith. And that will be time for the substitution to be made. So, Martin Northsand, 1 goal in 8 European appearances for the 24-year-old. And it's Jesper Gronkia. A man who's played in 3 major tournaments, was worth $7.5 million when Chelsea bought him. I think he's been a major disappointment from a Copenhagen point of view tonight.
Yeah, he has, but he's been injured. Don't want to be too harsh on him. Heard Mark McGee, you know, he's finishing sometimes lets him down. He panics. And good for Aberdeen, but you know, he hasn't been at his best tonight, certainly.
It's a simple free kick. Silverberg not long in the action. And the tug on Jamie Smith. Well, I think he thought he was going to get pushed there, but he's managed to find a way through. Miller holds up well, supplies it across, it's an own goal! It's a 4th own goal that's been scored on behalf of Aberdeen in their European history, and that now definitely clears the way for the Dons to take their place in the last 32 of the UEFA Cup. It was all about the cross of Lee Miller, his determination. Agony. Frankenson turned the ball behind his own goalkeeper. It was great play from Lee Miller. Worked his way down, and the finish, well, it was horrible from a point of view of the Danes, but Aberdeen net 3 in a European tie, for the first time at home in 11 years.
They're defending again, but it's bench stunt this time to be shocking, but Miller doesn't hang about, onto a flash, drives through, absolutely blasts the ball across goal, and Thompson could do nothing about it. Looks like it's game over, but what a result this is. Make no mistake about it, they're not a bad side, but they just don't defend.
Well, they're on their winter break. They came out of hibernation. They didn't like what they saw, and they've crept back into their shell. Elton with a little nudge. The referee spotted that. Well, we knew it'd be a big night for Aberdeen. A sellout round Pittodrie. They came hoping, and their hopes have been realised.
Well, they have, and you know, as much as they've been poor defending, Aberdeen have played this game to a tee. You know, there's a good tempo about it. Never tested them up in the first half, but didn't really look like losing a goal. Gets them in at half time, tells them where their weaknesses are, get balls up front quicker. They're not defending, and all their goals have come from poor defending, but when their chances have come along, my word, have they taken them.
Aberdeen preparing another change. A sliding challenge from Considine. Sionko. Here it goes. Back the captain, long angle ball. Elton tried to move in through the middle. There's a goal kick. Alex Salmond is here to see Aberdeen trump Copenhagen. Alongside him, Stuart Mill. A well-known Hearts supporter, Alex Salmond, is used to good European nights. Jimmy Smith has withdrawn. A standing ovation round all four stands at Pittodrie. What a night. Happy birthday, Jimmy Smith.
Oh, he's become a legend, simple as that. Could have been a little bit better with his hat-trick, but my word, has he done a job. And two of the best finishes you'll ever see. Started the ball rolling. It was funny to see there. Jimmy Calderwood sent him away across to this far side to take him off so he could waste a little bit more time, just looking to run down a few more minutes.
Chris Maguire, the man who came on, kind of got lost in the ovation there. But he'll be on, determined to play his part. Elton onto Nordstrand. Vist. No touch. Here it goes, Silverberg. Event will have to stretch. It's clumsy and it's out of play. Well, FC Copenhagen have scored in all 4 away games this year. Without Jerusalem, Benfica, Lens and Lokomotiv Moscow. They've hardly had a sniff of a chance. And Jimmy Calderwood, Jimmy Nicholl and Sandy Clark can look forward to European football in February. Aberdeen is the 3rd place team in the group. Will play a team who've topped the group. And at the moment where Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, Bordeaux, Everton have all won their groups. They have Panathinaikos and Atletico Madrid battling it out tonight. Hamburg and Val, and Villarreal or Fiorentina. It's a really tasty set of names. Rangers will play a team from 2nd. Spurs, Spartak Moscow, Braga and Helsingborg in the mix for them. But here it's all about the night in the northeast. And Aberdeen in complete command. Just deciding that was a little free kick. And Chris Maguire is struggling there. Just having a look. I mean, he's just on. I wonder if he's warmed up properly though.
No, he'd gone in for a tackle and the boy caught him late and he was taking a sore one because straight away he was looking across at the bench to cry for help, but there they go, taking out the play, overran the ball. Taking a sore one, the young guy's limping about, could be a short spin for him.
He's a talented player, just 18 years old, and as the offside flag goes up, he'll look to run it off. Just worried for a moment it might be in a hamstring if you're on a cold night like this, suddenly coming into action. Chris Maguire, an all-action type player. Considine. Forward on to Foster. To the off-fist.
I think Jimmy's realised how important that goal is now. He's been bold and he's gone 4-4-2 again. I think he's protecting Smith a little bit, just back from an injury. Done the business, get him off, save him for the next game. He's an important player for Aberdeen.
Rangers come calling on Sunday. Maguire. Battling on the ground, still going. Silverbarn across with him. Maguire's gone down on the turf, I think, more often than any other player tonight. Trying to get involved in the action. Copenhagen trying to find a way back. They need 3 goals. Sionko thought about the shot and slipped in. Hilton takes the touch, rattles the post, and he's still in search of his first goal for his new club.
There's just a little warning to keep switched on. Sionko doing all the business, cutting in from the left, little reverse pass. Hilton goes for the near post, beats Langfield, ends up but just crashes off the post.
He's had an unhappy time as the Brazilian with his new team. Got a bit of smile on his face at least. Silver Power. It's the header. Hart. It's the ball back. Sionko. It's running out wide. Silver Power trying to play it through the middle. And all the way through. So Aberdeen against Rangers will be part of the highlights online. bbc.co.uk/sportscene. The best place to see all the highlights online and on television. Next Friday, a bumper edition, 2 separate SPL cards rolled together. Join us for the highlights. Sionko looking to step in, being forced across by Barry Nicholson. On to Hilton once more. Came off Xander Diamond. Nicholson trying to throw himself at the ball. Then Silverbar thought about the shot. Maguire nicked in neatly behind him. Good play from Chris Maguire, made all the difference.
Yeah, it did, because it was opening up for him. Nobody's there, but that's what your striker has to do. You're 3-0 up. You know, they are pushing for a goal to get them back in it. Chris Maguire, though he's injured, getting back in there and putting them off.
Well, he's lost by 3-0, but he has won the Eamon Bannon lookalike competition. It's not all bad. Chris Maguire put through by Foster. The substitutes combine. Maguire, Miller wants it. Maguire's gone himself to the byline. Can he cut it across? Turned back by Vist into the arms of his goalkeeper. And it was almost number 4 for Aberdeen.
It's amazing how that limp just disappears when you get a chance, isn't it? Out on the left hand side, goes past his man, cuts it back, looks like a tap in for Foster, but Vist at the near post clearing.
Last one by 4-0 in a European tie back in '93 for that of Iceland. The opponents, as Copenhagen continue to come forward. Tempting ball into the box. Michael Hart away from Hilton. He's trying to scoop the ball clear. That's precisely what he's done. And Copenhagen unbeaten in the last 4 domestic matches in the league. A 2-0 defeat to Atletico Madrid. They've not got things started tonight. Goes in again. Miller back helping out. Nobody not afraid to get everybody back behind the ball. Atherton, who scored the own goal. Diamond with a flick. Sionko was closed down. Aberdeen continue to battle hard. Nicholson on to Severin. Severin to Considine. Maguire back to Considine. Bounce ball across to Severin. Good play to get away from Hutchinson. And more stand as well. Hart to Clark. Oh, the Olays are ringing round. Here comes Maguire. Rides the channel of Silverbar. And Gravgan. Considine. Aberdeen searching for a 4th. Lee Miller wants his first European goal. Gravgard won the initial header. He took out Lee Miller. That should be a penalty. Billy Dodd.
I think that's a penalty. He's not even looking at the ball, and I watched him closely. Gravgard can't run and he can't jump. And once he realised he popped that ball up there, the only person who's looking for is Miller. You can't do that in the box.
Well, we've got a chance to see that again. Lee Miller has remained down. Hutchinson, the referee, brings things to a close. The Aberdeen man is injured. Like Billy, I was watching where the defender was watching. And if you look at the intent here, he's looking at Lee Miller all the way. That's a penalty.
That's a Stone Waller, and you can see him right away. He's popped up there, he's not defended well all night. He's under pressure, he's not enjoying the game whatsoever. He knows Miller's coming in on him. He's not even looking at the ball, he's giving up the ball. It's a penalty, can't do it.
10 minutes to go. If you're going to be denied a penalty, be 3-0 up at the time.
Yeah, it's not so bad, Denny.
So the Danes, 4 Danish sides within the UEFA Cup, 2 minutes to the group stages. Aalborg, who lead the league, and FC Copenhagen. Aalborg have gone out. FC Copenhagen are going to join them. And Aberdeen behind Panathinaikos and Atletico Madrid. They leapfrog both Lokomotiv Moscow and FC Copenhagen. Silverberg can't win it. Miller did so. Back onto Maguire. He's onside. Maguire whipped it across. This is 4! Chris Clark scores his first European goal. Ricky Foster scores his first European goal. And it's 4.
Now, the defence is evaporated, simple as that. Miller Maguire, different class, great one, touch play, releases Maguire down the route, there you go. Onside, online. What a lovely delivery from the young man, right across face of goal. In that area where defenders hate it, the goalkeeper hates it. Who's on the end of it? Foster, on rushing, strokes into the net. Different class display all round from Aberdeen tonight.
Well, Ricky Foster, the substitute, came on and delightfully finished, sliding in at the side. Well, he doesn't get many goals, but he'll take that one. And Aberdeen, for the first time in 14 years, lead at home in a European match by 4 goals to 0. We thought Aberdeen might sneak this one. No way did we think we'd win by 4-0. Christensen lays it away, and Aberdeen fans are thinking it's easy. Well, FC Copenhagen came here with a swagger, with confidence. If they had a tail, it would lead between the legs. Diamond, he's the defending. Christensen plays it long. Diamond again. Brent forward. Turned in field. Chris Clark, I thought, got that 4th goal. Apologies to Ricky Foster for bursting into that left side so often for Aberdeen. Plays the ball wide. Starting the attack, Nordstrand. Picked up by Byrne. And by Considine. Atkinson slides the ball back. Copenhagen captain is watching his side fall. Scored twice in European Championship qualifiers. He's an attacking threat, but tonight his defensive duties, his principal duties, have been poor. And the Aberdeen fans can't wait for the final whistle. I'm sure the Aberdeen players too can't. I'm sure the FC Copenhagen players are none too thrilled either. They'd love it all to be done and dusted by now. Ricky Foster, good strong running for the 4th goal. And Jimmy Calderwood, well, he's never won a European match. He's won one now, and in some style.
Yeah, convincingly. All credit to the Aberdeen players. Now, this is experience for them. Also, you know, they can go and enjoy the rest of the game. There was pressure on them. They've handled the pressure. They had to chase the game tonight. They did. They've got 4 lovely goals for their young boys. Go and enjoy it now. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy the fans. Just chant their name. This is what it's all about. This is what they've got to look forward to now.
The top team will make its way to Pittodrie in February, the 13th to the 14th. Aberdeen will be at home for the first leg. That's the intention of UEFA. The draw is tomorrow for both the Champions League and the UEFA Cup. Aberdeen want 5. Miller plays it infield. Diamond. And to Severin. Summerbar. Got the better of Scott Severin. Goes into Severin. And the offside flag goes up. I mean, credit to Stal Solbakken, the 39-year-old manager of Copenhagen. He made changes, he went very offensive, but the substitutes just haven't made any impact for him.
Yeah, they had to go for it, but to be honest with you, it's left them wide open. And with their defence certainly not being at the top of their game, you know, there's nobody all over the park defending.
Ball through. Milton, well, he got the better of that, comes back to him. The referee saying that was just handball. Well, it's hard to smile when you're losing by 4 goals to 0. But Aberdeen on their 50th match in the UEFA Cup have sparkled in the second half. And Jimmy Smith, well, the first 2 goals, and he's made all the difference in the world. All back. Struggled to lead the line. Thought that was a free kick, and was. Well, this is a side who last season beat Man United and Celtic at home. They beat Ajax in Amsterdam. They have troubled teams in the past, but they've not travelled well tonight. Maybe an extra few minutes on the sunbed for Jimmy Calder with his celebration.
They couldn't possibly have defended as bad as what they have tonight. I mean, playing against Man United and beating them, it's just incredible, because I don't think I've witnessed as poor a defensive performance as FC Copenhagen have put in tonight in probably all my career.
Graafgaard again putting his goalkeeper into a little bit of trouble. Sionko. Oh, drifted out the game, Sionko. And Copenhagen cannot wait for the final whistle to go. Clark. Oh, there's the long ball pumped forwards. Foster for the 4th goal. And the own goal, the 3rd, the double from Jamie Smith. Diamond on the header. The strong defending of Aberdeen in the first half from Diamond, from Byrne. Considine when he got into the game. Well, sure how important it was. Graafgaard. You see Copenhagen will go home, take stock, and then reopen the league campaign, the second currently in the Dutch league. And Scott Severin as well, knocks it off Norstrand for the throw. Around the stadium, the man of the match has been announced. It could only be Jamie Smith, and was. The ball presented now on to Clark, on to Foster. Back on to Clark. Clark skips it through. Foster's offside. He tried to lay it back into the path of Barry Nicholson, but the flag went up. Aberdeen go hunting for 5.
They're enjoying it now. He is just off it. You know, I love a little ball from Foster. Give and go into Clark. Little reverse pass. Just never released it quick enough, Clark. If he had him, Foster would probably have been onside.
Well, it was just over 15,000 when Nico came to town, just under 19,000 for Lokomotiv Moscow. Aberdeen selling out here tonight. A 4-star performance so far. Christensen. Onto Venton. Forsland. The ball away. 2 additional minutes to be played. Christensen. Ball through, Bunt wins the header again. In the end, Billy, was it the fact that Jimmy Colloway got his team selection right and he's set up right?
I think it's a big part of it, you know, to gamble playing Constantine at left back instead of centre half. You know, not make sure he played it tight at the back. He knew he was getting his chances, take them when they came along, and you know, it's just been an all-round good performance. Take nothing away from Aberdeen. We know they've defended poorly, but they still have to do the job, and they've done that with aplomb tonight.
Norstrand, the ball just bouncing through. Aberdeen had failed to score in 3 of the last 5 matches. Rattle 4. Towering ball all the way down from Langfield. Aberdeen have got a CIS Insurance Cup semi-final to look forward to. They've also got European football to look forward to, and Jimmy Calderwood absolutely thrilled. Into the final minute of additional time. Aberdeen just want a clean sheet to go with it. Hutchinson onto Sionko. Sionko stepped inside. Hutchinson. Vent. Simple little header in Norstrand. And picked up by Jamie Langfield. Sent deep, the lower head flick on.
Good defending there, right? Didn't think I would say that tonight.
Well, the Aberdeen bench are just shaking hands with their counterparts from Copenhagen. The flags are twirling round Pittodrie. There's been many great European nights. Another one you have just witnessed. Aberdeen 4, FC Copenhagen 0. Aberdeen come out of the group stage and go into the last 32, and the smiling figure of Jamie Smith, the principal reason why. 2 great goals at the start of the second half, and these Aberdeen fans who came in such great number are absolutely thrilled, and these Aberdeen players deserve all the credit that they're going to get.
Yeah, all round, great display. Just go and enjoy it. As I said, a lot of young boys in that team, a lot of inexperience, but performed absolutely brilliant tonight. Got their tactics spot on as a management team. Players carried out those tactics, gave nothing away at the back, which they've been doing in games. But my word, when the chances came along, they certainly took them in. It's just been a great all-round display.
Well, after a tense goalless first half, Aberdeen shone with 4 goals in the second. The Aberdeen players quite rightly taking all the applause. Jimmy Smith and Xander Diamond. Suter, the substitute goalkeeper there as well. But Jimmy Smith leading the applause. Comes across to the near side. And these Aberdeen fans are absolutely loving it. Even Santa's adorned tonight. Well, the teams who struggle and toil and work hard in the SPL get the reward to come into European competition, and it's all for nights like these. A memorable night at Pittodrie. Lee Miller leads it. Wonderful night for Aberdeen. Aberdeen 4, FC Copenhagen 0.